Nia and the New Free Library by Ian Lendler, illustrated by Mark Pett. For as long as anyone could remember, the little town library stood there. It was there so long that people stopped paying attention. The building got old, the librarian retired, and nobody noticed. Until one day, a tornado came and carried the whole thing away. No one quite knew what to do with the empty space where the library used to be. "We need a big skyscraper," said the builder. "That would really put the town on the map." "We need a parking lot," said the grocer. "That would help my business." But Nia had a different idea. "We need to rebuild the library." "Rebuild it?" said the mayor. "What's the point? No one uses libraries anymore." "Rebuild it?" said the banker. "That costs money, and I can't spare a dime." "Who needs it?" said a distracted mom. "My son and I get everything we want online. I'm on level 10!" But Nia loved the library. She went every week to check out books. She liked cookbooks the best. Her favorite spot to read was under the tree in front of the library. But it's hard to check out books from a library that isn't there. That's when Nia had an idea. She got a desk and a chair, and a pencil and some paper, and a plate of orange slices for energy. And then she began to write. It took her all day. It took her another day, too. From sunup to sundown, it took her lots of days. And at first, no one paid any attention. But pretty soon, she had written an entire wagon full of books. "Would you like to check out a book?" she asked the grocer. "How?" he said. "The library is gone." "This is the new free library," said Nia. The grocer was curious, so he picked up the book on the top of the pile and began to read. "There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She lived in a shoe. P.U. "Hey," said the grocer, "you wrote this wrong." "I did?" said Nia. "Well, maybe you could fix it." She handed the grocer a pencil, and the grocer started to write. "Excuse me," said the distracted mom. "My son's phone just died. Could he look at one of your books?" "Of course," Nia said. "This is the new free library. He can read any book he likes. This one is about Sir Wilbur, the bravest, most handsome knight around." "This is terrible," said the boy. "I can draw better than that." "You're probably right," said Nia. "Maybe you could fix it." As they made more books, more townspeople became curious and stopped to look. The town detective saw the crowd forming and came over to see if there was any trouble. She picked up a book. "This is my favorite book growing up. And this book is the reason I fell in love with the sea," said the boat captain. But as they read, everybody noticed mistakes. "Ah," said the boat captain. "Where the mild thing roam? That's not the title." "And that's not Sherlock solving the crime," said the detective. Every time Nia simply said, "Oh, well, maybe you could fix it," and she handed them a pencil. Pretty soon, half the town was writing alongside Nia. "What'd you think? I've never built a horseshoe before. How's that sketch going? I'm on page 10. Everyone discovered the job was a lot harder than it looked. "And that's how they solved the crime." "You're wrong. That clue is a red herring." "There's fish in the story? I'm confused." But they began to remember words and ideas that had inspired them. "Like hope springing high, still I rise." I love poems about bread. Pretty soon there were enormous piles of freshly written books. books of adventure and poetry and filled with every idea ever imagined. There were so many books that they spilled onto the road and stopped traffic. Said Nia. If only there was some better way to organize them. I've got empty crates we could use as shelves, said the grocer. If it rains, the books will get wet, said the builder. I'll make some walls and a roof to protect them. And we'll need lions, said the banker. A good library has to have lions in front. I'll get the 2 from the bank. Pretty soon, the entire town was lending a hand. There were people writing and drawing and binding and building and sorting and stacking and slicing oranges for energy. What we need is an opening ceremony, said the mayor. So the mayor fetched the shiniest ribbon and her biggest scissors and her fanciest outfit, and she was just about to cut the ribbon so the crowd could shout hooray when Nia said, Wait, we forgot one thing. We did? Said the builder. We did, said the banker. We have a library, said Nia, but we don't have a librarian. Oh, the mayor said, looking around. Does anyone here want to be the librarian? That should fix it, said Nia. Then the mayor cut the ribbon. The whole town shouted, Hooray! And the little town's new free library was open. Everyone crowded into the library to admire what they had accomplished. I decided to go for a classic filled with watercolors. There were kids in beanbags reading picture books, kids with pencils writing new books. In one corner there was a knitting class, in another all the grandparents were learning to use computers. First we plug it in. Everywhere there were people sitting together, enjoying the cozy quiet of a book-filled place. Meanwhile, Nia did what she wanted to do from the beginning. She quietly walked straight to her favorite section and checked out her favorite book. And she sat down to read in her favorite spot underneath the library tree. At least she did. Until the tornado came back and carried the school away. The end.